All right, so we're going to try this again. Yesterday was a bust. The problem I had was trying to import the Google Play Services library that lets me play with the maps. So we're going to try it again. I think I have it worked out. So we go to the project structure, and we have to import this module, import a new module for the SDK project. So in order to, let's stop, because I forgot yesterday we had already done this part, but it's not recorded here. So we went to the SDK manager. This is the standard Android SDK manager. And we have to make sure that the Google Play Services here has been installed. So this library has to be installed. So we did that yesterday. We checked it, installed the packages, and everything was fine. So that's the only thing we needed to install externally to IntelliJ. All right, Google Play Services. Then we go to the project structure, and we have to import that module into our project. So from our modules, we hit plus, import new module, and we find it from our SDK. So this is our Android Development Toolkit SDK. It goes all the way down into the extras, and under extras there's Google, and under Google there's Google Play Services, and under that we have this lib project called Google Play Services.lib. So this is what we want to import, this Google Play Services lib file. So I say OK. And then I'm just going to go through this wizard one at a time. We don't have to change anything. We're going to create the module from existing sources, select these as defaults, select that as a default. This one comes up for me. It won't come up with you because I've already done this several times. So it's going to say that file already exists, and I'm going to override it. But if you've never done that, you won't see that error. And finish. So all of the defaults were installed there. Now what I need to do is, under our project, I need to add a dependency to the Android project. So I click on the Android module under dependencies, and I add a module dependency here. I know, and you were right, Ryan. I'm just so used to not listening to you. So I say, OK, apply, and say, dang it, OK. And ta-da, there is all done. Now that took a while. I had to come in and play with that a lot this morning to get that working again. So now I can, I should be able to run what we have so far into my Genymotion virtual device. All right, so it's still, after rebuilding the project, I get this error. After deleting it off the virtual machine, I get this error. So I believe that the error is in the project structure under the modules, Google Play, Android, this native libs directory. I'm going to delete this completely and say that that's okay. Just to get rid of that error. I don't know why that error is popping up. All right, so let's try it again. And this tells it not to use precompiled libraries, but to upload the library's sources. And so I don't think we'll have this CPU compatibility problem. I had to do that on my Mac. Bada boom, bada bing, look at that. Am I smart or what? There we go. So we got our map, everything's happy. I know, that's not the map. I just wanted to make sure my project built with the SDK. We haven't done anything with the Google map yet, so let's work on that now. All right, so let's continue on. Yesterday we added these. This was the key that we added that we got from the Android, from Google. We needed that key so that they allow us to use their map services. In addition, we need to add these permissions for our application. So these permissions we haven't done much with yet because we haven't ever tried to deploy to the store. But this is what comes up when you install a new app from the Google Play Store. It says this app needs to look at your contacts and your location and all this stuff. This is where it gets it from. So we're adding these 4 new permission types to our app so that we can read and write specifically the map system here, which is this guy here. Why does it keep doing that? So we need those 4 permissions added. Then we need to start writing our code here. Right, you got those? Let me pause. So you grade their phones, man. All right, so we're going to go on and start to write some code now. So in I already created the resource layout, just a relative layout that I'm going to add the map to. Doesn't have much information. I'm going to add this stuff programmatically. So that's just a standard relative layout. All right, and then in the Google map, and to do that, you can just right-click and create a new resource with relative layout. It'll create that for you. So under Google Map, we're going to add some stuff. So we're going to, this is my detail information. The only thing I've added here is a property object that I'm going to call Google Map of type Google Map, and we'll use that later on as we write our code here. And then I'm setting the content view of this particular activity to the Google Map resource that I created. So then I need to be able to get to that. So let's add to my let's add to my manifest. I need to add a new activity, right? So we're going to add a new activity called Google Map. And that's the class name of my class that I just created here. Then I have to add that to my menu. So I go to my switch statement in my base activity. We'll add a new option here. And we'll call it switch to Google Map. And instead of calling the map tile, we'll call Google Map.class. All right, and this property we need to define in our resource file for our menu. So we go to our menu, master menu, and we need a new item in our master menu. Lots of places to fix. Seems like there should be a app for that. So we're going to switch to Google Map here. And one thing that we need to fix, I have these set up to show as an action always. The problem with that is I'm running out of room on the top. So I've got all of these to always show up in the order that they are here in the XML file. So I'm going to switch some of these and say, let's put the preferences instead of show as action. We want it to show as action, not always, but let's see, I forgot what it's called. It's called if room. All right, if there's room, display it at the top. If not, display it in a little pull down on this right side of the top of the menu here. So, it does. It works for me. If you have room, though, it's going to display them on the top. So you have to have enough in here that it forces that to work. All right? So now my base activity should be okay. It's got the ID here. My manifest has a new activity, and I can run this and do something with it. All right? So we're going to use a fragment here, which is different. This is the only way I could get this to work. So I'm going to create a new map fragment. And I need a property for that. So this is going to be a private map fragment called map fragment. Sounds pretty good. And this will be private as well. All right. It's not importing the map fragment yet for me. I'm sure it will in a minute. So my map fragment equals a new map fragment dot new instance. Why is this not coming up? Yeah, what the heck? I know it's slow, but well, we can import it manually. We can import, it's called com.google.android.gms.maps.map fragment. Yeah, why is it not finding it? Good question. Are we back to that again, really? So I'm going to quit IntelliJ because I've found that it does have problems sometimes. Sometimes. Well, it's written in Java. What do you expect?
Sometimes it's just average J.
Right, average day, not intelligent. So sometimes it finds the errors when it loads this.
Hey, how's your book doing?
All right, so you have to not only add the project, the module, the Google Play Services module, we have to add a library of the Android support. So to do that, you hit plus Java, you find where it is in your ADT. So it's in the SDK, extras, Android now instead of Google support, and we want version 13. This jar file is what we want to add. And then we tell it to add it to our Android module. So I did that already. So now it finds the map fragment. So let's move on. Let's create some stuff. So I created a new map fragment. Then I have to create this fragment transaction. I'm going to call it fragment transaction. And we're going to call get fragment manager dot begin transaction. And then we're going to call fragment transaction dot add, and we're going to add a map container, and we're going to add this map fragment that we just created into that fragment container. All right, so the thing is I didn't add this fragment container to my resource that we're loading in here. So in my Google Map resource, I have to add an ID here so that it can find it. So I'm going to add an Android ID, which is going to be called map container. All right, so that will, it's going to put the fragment inside of this relative layout. That's what that's doing. So this map container is putting this fragment inside of that relative layout that I have. And that's about all I know about that. Then we have to commit that. So this is a fragment transaction dot commit. And then there are problems because sometimes the Google Map doesn't load for various reasons like network problems. So we need to put this in a TryCatch. So we're going to try to initialize our app. And if it doesn't work, we're going to catch everything. We'll call it E. And we'll just call this print stack trace method, because that's a bad error if that happens. So then in my initialize app, I've got to get all through all of this. If what we want to do is, if the Google Map is null, then I want to load in the Google Map. I want to create that. So I'm going to call Google Map equals map fragment dot get map. And I had this at home as well, and so what I did was changed my Google Map to be this com.google.android. So this goes out and gets it from the module, and I could find nothing about that online, but that seemed to make my app work. So that replaced just using Google Map with the one from inside of the GMS module that we imported. And then we check to see if my Google Map at this point is not equal to null. Then it's loaded correctly, and I can do some stuff with it. So I can create some longitude and latitude places that I want the map to show up in. And I'm going to use 47.6730355, just a random place, right? And longitude of negative 117.3567.463. Where do you think that is? School, yay! And let's create a marker that we're going to put on the map. And so there's this marker options that we're going to create a new marker object. Marker object, options object. Jeez. It's going to be a new marker options. And we're going to position the map to this new point called a lat long object, passing in our latitude and our longitude that we just created here. Latitude and our longitude. And I want a zoom level of 15. Right? So that creates a new marker option. Oh no, that doesn't go there. Sorry, that does not go there. What we want there is to call a method called title, and we can put that inside Spokane Community College. And that will show up on the little marker when we click on it. Isn't that nice? So we need to import this library. Oops. Come on. There we go. All right, let me close this so you can see it all on the screen there. And then we need to add that marker to our Google Map object. Add marker. And we're going to call the marker. Then we're going to tell the Google Map to animate from wherever you start. We're going to animate the camera, which is kind of cool. And we're going to call this camera factory, camera update factory, new lat longe zoom. Which is going to be another new lat longe for my latitude and my longitude. And here's where I put my zoom level in here. So lat long zoom gives me a latitude and longitude point and a zoom level. And if that doesn't work, then we're toast. So I'm just going to print out, sorry, unable to create maps. Pardon me? Never. All right, so let's see if we build it now. Let's make our project and see if we have any errors. It still thinks we have an error here somewhere. Oh, I need a space here. That's why. Okay. Sorry. We'll see if this works, and then we'll be done. Mean teacher. Yeah. All right, so it's uploading now. It should work.
You need that label. Students' tears.
Students' tears, yeah. All right, so here we go. So I have that same problem. We have to. Dang it! It always happens when you get in a hurry here. In our modules, Google Play, we need to delete this native libs because I added it again. I'm trying to get that to work. So now it won't work again. Arg. Yeah. All right, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yes. All right, so remember I added all those memory items and I said if room. So this is where they put them now. And this one is my Google map. I should change the name of that. So it says, unfortunately, I wanted to show you this, that you cannot use Google Play services on these virtual devices without a whole mess of trouble. So at this point, when we're testing our Google map, we need to go straight to our device because it's got everything all perfect, and that's where our key is tied to. So you really need to test it on the device. But it should work at this point. So anyway, it would have found that, and see, it did give our toast. Did you see our toast? Let's go back to our toast. And it says, sorry, can't.
Single instance.
It'll come back, and then it'll say toast or something. Yeah, unable to create maps. So anyway, that's where we got today. You can test this on your own real device. That's enough.